It seems like every day we hear about more and more people becoming addicted to things and becoming to different things that we've never heard about being addicted to before. An addiction is defined as being compulsively or habitually involved with or occupied with something. Often when we think about addictions, we think about being addicted to drugs or alcohol, but an addiction can come from just about anything, as long as it comforts the person by performing a certain action. Addictions can consume our lives and even define who we are sometimes. There are a few main causes to addiction, and these are genetics, abuse, depression, stress, and chemicals. Some scientists believe that you can inherit certain genes from your parents that cause you to be more susceptible to becoming an addict than people that don't have that gene. Scientists have even found differences between the brain of an addict and the brain of non-addicts. Abuse, depression, and stress are the three main causes of addiction. Normally, the person feels unwanted or unimportant, and through their addiction, they develop a sense of security, comfort, and happiness. Chemicals are the last main important cause of addiction. Chemicals such as nicotine, sugar, to things like cigarettes, soft drinks, and alcohol. Now, what's going on with your brain when we several important parts of the brain? Neurons are nerve cells that send impulses throughout the brain. In the case of addiction, dopamine is the message that the impulses are sending throughout the brain. A synapse is a gap between any two given neurons in the brain. The nucleus accumbens and the reward pathway are the last two parts of the brain I'm going to talk about. The nucleus accumbens is where the reward pathway starts, and the importance of the reward pathway is to make you feel motivated to do something or happy by performing a certain action. One of two main things is happening when you become addicted. Either too much dopamine is being sent throughout your brain, or not enough serotonin is there to level out all the dopamine that's in your brain. So let's say you take a drink of alcohol for the first time and you liked it, and that sends dopamine from the nucleus accumbens from one neuron over the synapse to the next neuron to the end of the reward pathway where it binds to a receptor. This associates drinking alcohol with a good memory if you liked it. If you have enough serotonin in your body, then your brain's going to tell you when enough of your addiction is enough. If there's not enough serotonin, then you're going to keep drinking until you feel happy, which the thing is you'll never feel as happy as the person that has the right amount of serotonin. And as you drink more, the memory of it becomes even more ingrained in your brain, and you become more and more dependent on it, and more dopamine becomes released in your brain, causing you to crave it more. So it's not to say that dopamine is bad for your brain. Dopamine is what makes you function the way you do. It tells you when you're hungry, when you need to sleep, and causes you to feel certain emotions like happiness. At first, addictions might not seem so bad, but after a while, they can cause severe psychological, physiological, and emotional impacts on your life. Depending on what the addiction is, certain diseases such as cardiovascular disease, cancer, and HIV are common. But one thing is common between all addicts: they become dependent on something. Dependence is their addiction needs. They can become depressed or angered, and that puts them and themselves and others in danger. The three pictures right there are scans of brains between non-addicts and addicts. On the left are all brains of non-addicts, and on the right are brains of addicts. The top one is a meth user, the center one a binge drinker, and the bottom one a cocaine addict. It is good to associate things with positive memories, but it becomes dangerous when we become dependent on things to make us happy. Remember to not become too dependent on a substance, because you could not only become a danger to yourself, but to others as well.